Travis here with Barnyard Outdoors, and I'm gonna make myself a quick little brew. I know you guys have seen my little brew kit that I put together. Let me grab my canteen. I'm gonna need the water from this, right? But I've got my little brew kit with me, and myself a canteen full of water. But I need a way to actually prepare it, right? So in my Hidden Woodsman haversack here, I have been working on putting together a little kit, right, out of some of the stuff that I have around the house, and you've seen some of this stuff. Now, this is still trying to get everything to fit properly in there. The lid doesn't really fit on top very well, but I've got this gigantic bandana in there. But inside here, I have, this is the FireMaple Ant RT, and this is the titanium little pot with the spout. In the bottom, I fit one of these. This is a Sea to Summit 13.5 fluid ounce or 400 milliliter, one of those silicone cups. Pop that up like that. And then inside the bandana, I have, of course, a small fuel canister. This is just jet power. And then I have one of these little folding stands. So we'll get that set up real quick. And this, of course, is just to keep everything stable. And then for a stove in here, I have this newer one from FireMaple. This is I think it's the GreenPeak II. So if you look at this is kind of it's a nice little stove. It's got an igniter on it, and it's pressure regulated, which is one of the big things I wanted, because the weather sometimes it's chilly here, sometimes it's really nice. We had a blizzard last week, and on Monday, tomorrow, it's supposed to be 70 degrees. These little arms just pop up on the side here, and then it's got these little pieces that can fold in, which is great because you can use a really small pot or a canteen cup on here really easily. So it's been a pretty good stove. It's a little breezy today, so this will be interesting to see how it handles the breeze. It's definitely plenty warm for a stove like this. So the whole plan of this, of course, is to be able to whip myself up a little pour over coffee, I think is what I'm going to do today. Get this thing started. I love this little pot. Works really good for this setup. It's easy to put everything I need in there for fuel, and then of course the stove, and then the brew kit here. So like I said, we're just going to do some pour over coffee. I did take these little brew kits down to the Winter Bushcraft Show and handed a bunch of them out. So I'm curious, anybody that got one, have you used it yet? How's it work for you? That thing up, and it will fit perfectly. Look at that on this little collapsible cup, and this is kind of a good little solution. I think this is going to be the way I do it from here on out. And I'm just going to go ahead and empty this out. I've used this before, so it was a little low on coffee. It's not a problem. Just simply refill that when I get home. So I'm pretty impressed with this stove. The big thing with these being pressurized is being able to work in colder environment. Like I said today, it's not a problem, but that is the big advantage of the pressurized stove versus non-pressurized. So check this one out. Like I said, this is the GreenPeak II, recently updated by FireMaple. And I've been real happy with all the FireMaple stoves. I might have too many, and honestly, that's my biggest complaint with FireMaple, is they keep coming out with new stuff. It's hard to keep up, but it's really cool that they're innovating and doing new things and trying different things when it comes to the outdoor stove market, and a whole bunch of other products they have, like this titanium kettle. I'm almost up to a boil there. So it does seem to be handling the breeze we have out here. It's a light breeze, but I'm not feeling all the heat escape just like it's being blown across, because there is a little bit of a lip above the burner, just a tiny one. When they say that's a windscreen, I think they're just saying that because it's not a real windscreen. But I could bring a windscreen with me. I know I've got one here in my kit, and I'm not sure if this would be tall enough. This is kind of your standard height windscreen. Nope. So one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this full stack where you're on top of a fuel canister, and this is even the smallest fuel canister, is that you need a windscreen that is taller. So important thing to note, I might have to dig out a larger windscreen, which I'm sure I have one of those somewhere around the house. Now, I carry the bandana with me mainly because I want something if I need to pick up this pot. If the handles are hot, I can easily do that. I can use this to wash out my pot if I've cooked something in it, or even if I just want to dry it out from all the water. And then, of course, because the fuel canister has this steel ring, sometimes these will start to rust. I don't want any rust in any of my pots. So you will see in every one of my kits and setups, if I've got a fuel canister, I usually have some type of bandana in there. It's very functional, and I get these bandanas from a company called Osei USA. These are all made in America. I believe they're a veteran-owned company, and they've been great bandanas. I can't say anything bad about them. It's a decent-sized bandana, and it works good. Just like that, I'm boiling. Whew. I got a rolling boil there. The other thing I like about this is if I fold this down, kind of puts the little holders onto the inside, and it will help keep the lid on, and then the little spout on there is just awesome. Look at that. That is so easy to do. And having a nice, hot, fresh cup of coffee is always a great thing when you're out and about. It's so nice to be able to just whip something up like this, and it's easy and it's portable. It all fits in the haversack. So I think this has been a really good setup for me so far. Been real happy with it. So not much else I can say about the GreenPeak II. I mean, it's a nice looking little stove. It is pressurized. I'll put some specs on the screen from FireMaple site, but check it out. If you're looking for a little pressurized stove like this, I think it's a pretty good deal. And I really like the way that it has these little side pieces that kind of can fold in. So if you had a real tiny cup, you could easily put that on there. And it's kind of the big advantage to this, is having that functionality of different pot sizes or cup sizes, and of course having it as a pressurized stove. And my coffee's ready. If you have any questions about any of the gear that I'm using here in this video, please put it in the comments below. Let me know. More than willing to answer your comments and answer any questions about gear. I like the FireMaple GreenPeak II stove. I think it's going to be a great part of this little kit in my haversack for making a quick brew, or even making a quick lunch when I'm out and about. So remember to like this video if you like this type of content, share this with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks everybody for watching.